Yeah, y'all gonna stop coming in my live talking about this Victor dude, bro. We hooping this year. Y'all gonna see.
All right, team, let's get it. Let's get this money. So we're talking about the Spurs versus Clippers last night. Hope everyone had a great New Year's. I know I did. Watching this game, blowing out the Clippers just made my night 10 times better. You know what I'm saying? I know on Christmas it was a great game, but whenever we lost that, it kind of like brought the tone down a little bit. Like I was happy it was Christmas and everything, but I was a little bit angry about the game just because I felt like the Spurs should have won that. But that wasn't the case here. The Spurs blow out the Clippers, and I thought that they would come out with a chip on their shoulder because they blew the lead last time they played, and that's exactly what they did. Wemby was setting the tone early. He came out and dropped 17 points in the first quarter, and he did it in an unusual way. He was attacking the paint. He didn't shoot many threes. I think he only made one this game. He was very efficient once he got into the paint. His game plan looked very intentional. It didn't look like a typical Wemby game. He was just really trying to get to the rim, and it worked out well for him. He got some foul calls. I think all 4 of those free throw attempts came from the first quarter. He didn't really do much after the first quarter. He had 10 the rest of the quarters, but we were blowing the Clippers out after, I think, the third quarter. Overall, this game really just felt over after Wemby dropped 17. I didn't think there was a way the Spurs were going to lose after seeing how Wemby came out. Bad news, Jeremy Sohan, I don't know how long he's going to be out. No news on him, but he did get injured and didn't return in the second half. He was like hanging on the rim after completing an alley-oop, and when he let go, he like landed wrong and tweaked his back. So it didn't look like anything serious, but you never know with these back issues. They could be lingering. So we're just going to have to see. If y'all know anything about Sohan, leave it down below in the comments section. He had 4 points. Not his best statistical game, but he was guarding James Harden, and let's see what James Harden did. Yeah, 17, 5 turnovers, 5 for 11. I mean, he didn't shoot terrible, but he was for sure in Polish prison. Steph Castle had a bounce back game. Finally got some minutes, 23 with Sohan going out, 15 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and he has fallen down in the Rookie of the Year race, but that just comes with the minutes. The Spurs trying to win more this season, and I don't really mind it. I do want to see him get more of these games where he's having 20 plus minutes, but we're just gonna have to take it slow. After all, he still is a rookie, but he showed a lot of good things this game. I think his game plan was more predicated on getting downhill and just being aggressive, showing what you can do, and he definitely had that chip on his shoulder this game. Devin Vassell, man, I didn't even realize because we were blowing out the Clippers, but 4 for 14, 8 points. Like, what is this? I love Devin Vassell. I'm not even gonna slander him, but I don't know what is going on this stretch. I don't know what I'm gonna get from Devin Vassell anymore, and that's kind of concerning for me. He didn't make a single 3-pointer, 0 for 6, and we won the game by 40 points. Now, I'm not turning on Devin Vassell. I'm just saying that we got to keep an eye out on him. It's looking a little rough, and Devin Vassell is one of my favorite players, but I just don't know. Before he came back from injury, I predicted him to come back and have a borderline all-star year, and this just isn't it. However, we're winning, so I'll take it, but we're going to have to keep an eye on him for sure. Keldon Johnson, solid game. I like what he brought. Everybody else really solid. Another player I want to talk about is Zach Collins, 16 minutes. Now, some might say he still looked bad, but he looked serviceable out there. Don't get it twisted. He did not look good, but he looked serviceable. He was going straight up with Zubac, just keeping his hands up. How many fouls did he have? Only 1 foul in 16 minutes. That might be a record for Zach Collins. And he really wasn't getting cooked out there. Like, he was just playing the best defense he could, keep his hands straight up, and that's all I really ask out of Zach Collins. This game, if he could do this consistently, maybe he could average about 16 minutes. I still think he has to get out of there. If he's doing this, he'll be serviceable for the rest of the season. If I had to put my money on it, he's not going to do this the rest of the season, but I just wanted to point out that I liked his play today. Overall, this was a good win. The Spurs took down a top team in the West, although I don't know how they're up there in the West. This was the second night off a back-to-back. That might play a part in this blowout, but I'm just going to take the win. But yeah, overall, good game. Let's go ahead and get into an interview. Since this is CP3's old team, we're going to tune into his post-game and see what he has to say. So shout out. Let's go ahead and get straight into it.
The new year with a winning record, but
What's our record?
17 and 60. Does that give you some guys momentum or just belief that everything you've done is kind of building toward being a winning team?
I think I think we expect actually to be better. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. I think we just got to keep building, and take from these different type games that we're more than capable of doing this and putting it together night after night.
17 and 16 really exceeded my expectations. Think about this. We won 22 games last season. It's just January and we already got 17 wins, man. Chris Paul effect? I think so. It might be the Spurs spotlight effect too.
Mitch said that despite the 1-3 record on the road, he said that he thought that there was real improvement with each game. What is I guess the biggest step that that a young team has to get over on road trips like that?
I think it was sort of what I was saying to y'all sort of all season long and even earlier in the season. You want to learn and win at the same time, right? So all these games, we constantly learning things and understanding the attention to detail. We just want to continue to figure out how to win and learn at the same time. So we obviously know the road is a lot harder than at home, and we just got to keep building.
Speaking of learning, do you think Victor is learning how special his simple can be? I mean, in terms of simple plays, how dominant he can be just doing those types of things?
That's a great way to put it. His simple is so great because whenever he does no glaze, whenever he does simple things like just a little jab step and drive to the hole and just lay it up, it looks so amazing. Like no glaze, but his simple is amazing.
Yeah, we I can't imagine obviously being that height with that ability, with the ability to do so much, so we always saying keep it simple, but there are times where you saying keep it simple and he just does something and you be like, oh, okay, well, but I can't say enough how mature he is, his game, his mentality, how hungry he is to continue to get better. And I think everyone forgets this is just his second year, so just enjoying the process for him.
I've seen some clips in games like where CP's asking for the ball, like give me the ball, and Wemby did like a step back over two players and splashed it, and CP was just like, all right, my bad. It's great to see CP3 just getting impressed in real time.
A player like that with such a unique skill set, who knows how to control it and kind of what he's capable of, how much easier does that make things for you or for the players around him?
He makes the game so easy. I think I've already gotten to a point where I take him for granted at times. Like the shot blocking, the defense, all the things. So never seen anything like it, right? As far as blocking shots, I didn't play with some great defenders, DeAndre Jordan, all this different type of stuff. But he just finds a way at times to make up when somebody even hits him with a really good move. And see, most guys have to jump, to recover. But he just has a knack to know how to go block it.
He's for sure going to go down as the greatest defender of all time, in my opinion. And it's not going to be close, unfortunately.
In terms of basketball, what is the biggest lesson that you learned in 2024?
The thing I always say, gratitude. I was in a situation last year, where I was, coming off the bench and not really playing that much, honestly, and you just got to stay the course, keep working. And I was blessed and fortunate enough to end up here. Not end up here, but like it's always great to be wanted. And so I never forget my conversation with Pop the day that I signed to come here, and it's been better than I could have ever imagined.
I'm gonna shed a tear, man. Shout out Pop. Pop, I miss you, man. I miss Pop so much. Keep the headphones on. We're not even done with the interview, but gosh, this partnership between the Spurs and CP3 has been amazing. I couldn't imagine a season this good with a 40-year-old CP3. Their connection has just grown so quickly, and it's just a great sight to see. And I can't believe the Warriors try to make my GOAT CP3 look washed. Like, I was a CP3 hater before he came to the Spurs, I'll admit it. But now that he has shown me his competitiveness being a part of the Spurs organization, I can't do nothing but respect him. And I'm going to always have to give him his flowers because his greatness is insane. The longevity, doing this at 40 years old, being top 6 in assists at 40 years old. Like, come on, what are we talking about?
Do you have a goal going into 2025 or anything of that nature in regards to contributions?
Nah, just to keep enjoying the moments, perspective. You know what I mean? I think a lot of times we always say, I want to do this then, I want to see that, do that then. But for me now, it's about enjoying the moments. These years, fly by. You never know when it's going to be your last game. You never know when it's going to be your last moment with your friends and your family. So just trying to enjoy it.
Along those lines of playing the same way, today something happened. The lights went off, the flip was switched. I don't know what happened, but the Spurs showed up in a different way. What do you think was the difference?
Yeah, Spurs reporter. Shout out.
We were in Brooklyn, and I think we might have been up 14. And I was just talking to the guys, like, can we take it to 20? Most games, it ends up at 5, and I think today we just stayed the course and didn't get comfortable. With a young team and going through the things that we've been through, sometimes you get a lead and you relax. But in this league, anything can happen. Last time we played that team, I think we was up 24 at one point. They came back and won. So experience teaches you things.
Thanks, Chris.
No doubt.
Man, shout out to CP3. I wouldn't be opposed to him joining the Spurs coaching staff after he retires. I hope he comes back for next year, but after that, join the staff and come get a ring with Wemby. Get your first ring as a coach. That's all I got for y'all, man. Great win, great everything. Y'all leave y'all's comments about the game down below. As always, y'all be sure to subscribe. And until then, I'll catch y'all later. I'm out.